Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into Finite and Infinite Games by James Carse today.
Oh, a classic.
It really is. And we've even got excerpts in the original Chinese to work with.
Wow.
Yeah, really impressive. But this book, it throws out this idea,
hmm
what if everything we
Yeah.
do is a kind of game?
It's a powerful way to look at things, that's for sure.
Mm.
Not that we're all just, pieces on a board, but that there are these structures we might not even realize are shaping how we act.
Exactly. And so then he's like, okay, two types of games, finite and infinite.
Right, right.
And that finite game, that's like, I don't know, you're gunning for that promotion at work.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to get it. Someone's going to miss out. It's done.
And it's everywhere when you start to see it, that finite game. Every election, even just, I don't know, friendly competition with your neighbor who's got the better yard.
Oh, totally. And they all come down to winning or losing, in Cars's view.
They do.
But then he's like, hold on, there's this other kind of game.
Yeah.
Infinite games, no finish line, rules can change. It's not about winning. It's about keeping it going.
Exactly, yeah. And he'd argue, living with that in mind, the infinite game, can really change things.
I can see that, like for yourself, how you approach things, but he gets into some pretty heavy stuff too, right? I mean, political oppression, even.
That's one of the things I find so fascinating about Carsey, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, he uses slavery as an example, right? Horrible
Right.
system, obviously. But
Yeah.
even there, he's saying there's a choice in how people play.
Yeah.
It really is. He'd say, even in, say, a totalitarian state, the people in charge, they need a certain amount of, well, I guess you could say consent, even if it's awful to think about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he'd point to the threat of violence always being there. It's like a constant reminder of the rules,
Hmm.
Don't step out of line, or else don't even think about changing the game.
Makes you think about, I don't know, what rules are we following that we don't even realize in our own lives, even if it's not, on that level.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's not about being all cynical or thinking every interaction is a battle.
Right.
It's about seeing the game, even the one nobody told us the rules for, so that we can actually choose how we play.
One thing that really stuck with me about those finite games, it's how Carces talks about titles,
Oh.
like that corner office, right? Or even just senior VP, whatever it is. It's not just about the work, it's that it means something.
Oh, absolutely. They're the trophies, basically, in those finite games. You get the title, means you played, you won. What's really wild is how he connects that to, like, stuff,
Okay.
possessions.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, he's saying we use things, especially big, lasting things, to make those titles feel real.
I'm listening.
Think about it. Huge monuments, those giant houses rich people build. It's not just about being comfortable, right?
It's like they want to carve that win into the world, make it last forever.
Exactly. It's making that finite game victory, like permanent or as close as you can get. But then Karse, he contrasts this whole power thing with something else when it comes to infinite games.
Which is,
Strength,
but he means that differently than we usually do, right?
for sure. See, power to Karse is about control, dominating within whatever the limits are. But strength, that's being able to roll with the punches, be surprised, even kind of heal or grow when things go sideways.
So less forcing things to be how you want, more, I don't know, working with how they are, even when it's tough.
Exactly. Picture a surfer, yeah.
Yeah.
Power gets you to the top of the wave, maybe. But it's strength that lets you ride it, adapting, keeping your balance when it's all crashing down around you.
Okay, I love that image. So in a world where everyone's screaming one for one, how do we actually get that kind of strength?
That's where things get really interesting with Karse. He says we got to shift our whole perspective, less about controlling, predicting, more about being open.
And it's funny you say open, because then he gets into this whole machine versus garden idea, right?
Such a great metaphor.
Right, it really is.
The machine, that's us wanting to engineer everything. To-do lists, 5-year plans, even how we eat. It's all got to be in a box.
But the garden.
Now that's wisdom, yeah.
Hmm.
You're cultivating, things grow organically, you got to work with the natural flow, except that not everything's going to be how you pictured it.
So being more like a gardener, is that closer to that infinite game mindset?
100%. It's knowing we don't have all the answers. That growth, real resilience, comes from working with the unknown. What we can control and what we got to just roll with.
This whole garden thing, it makes you think about how much we do try to control everything, huh? Like it's got to be the perfect outcome, whatever that even means.
Yeah, and Karse would say even how we talk about nature, it's like that.
Oh, how's
Like we conquer a mountain or tame the wilderness. It's all about us being separate from it, even better than it.
When you put it that way, it lines us kind of like nature's a finite game, right? Win or lose.
Totally. And he'd say that blinds us to how much, I don't know, wisdom there is in nature. He even uses the word genius for it.
Hmm. Interesting. So it's not just about trees and stuff. It's like a force.
Yeah, like this untamed, unpredictable energy that makes things grow, change. We can't really control it.
So how do we get away from that conqueror thing then? If we want to be more in that infinite game space, with nature at least.
That's where it's all about changing how we see it. You
Yeah.
know, less about forcing our will on nature, more about being humbled by it. Like, we're not above it, we're part of it.
So admitting we don't know everything, that nature has its own smarts if we'll just pay attention.
Right. Like, think about those old school ways of farming, passed down for generations.
Oh,
There's a deep understanding there, right? How it all works. Respecting that, not just bulldozing through it.
like that machine versus garden thing again.
Exactly. One's all about taking, the other's about working with what's there.
This whole deep dive has been amazing, honestly. Like, Cars is giving us permission to just let go a little of winning, of knowing everything, just being more curious, I guess.
And it's not just some nice idea, right? This shift, it can really change things.
How so?
Well, we make art differently. We build relationships that help everybody grow, even how we treat the planet. It's all connected.
It makes you wonder, if we were a little less obsessed with the finish line, what can we actually achieve? That's something I'm going to be chewing on for a while.
Me too. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from Carsey. It's not about the answers, really. It's about liking the questions, finding joy in how big and messy and, well, infinite it all is, if we can remember to keep playing.